Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh to some of y'all, and peace out to the rest of you. Yeah, man, look, let me tell y'all like this. If you are the kind of guy that, I mean, let's say you're not an idness, and it's clear to people you're not an idness. The women that you could still hit that, and you should not fornicate, especially if you're gonna ask me about it. But if there's a woman with whom you could, and you don't have to be an idness with tattoos and a prison record and felonies and busted up knuckles and bullet wounds and knife wounds and bodies and warrants, in order to hit that, then she's for the streets. You don't need to really say more than that about her. I mean, if you can hit that not being an idness simply because you bought some liquor or because because y'all were alone together, I mean, she got to have pretty low standards in that case to be doing anything that easily, just like you do, sir. But at the very least, she's for the streets. And if you're going to be too easy, you could be for the streets too, theoretically speaking. But understand this too. And that woman, like Ayana, who calls herself Divine Ayana or Ayana Divine, I don't know which one it is. The one that O'Shea had to put up on this channel talking about how you just need to be more alpha and stop worrying about these women that like these thugs. And, you know, they like jailbait because, or they like jailbirds because those guys are real alphas. You're just not alpha enough, and that's why you're out here free. Y'all know that lady. I talked about it over a year ago. I think it was over a year ago. That broad. Yeah, her. If you're like her, or like, I think another one's name is Asian Doll, who was talking about you got to have bodies to be with her. And some other women that have said things that are similar, some whose names we know, or you know, I keep forgetting, and some whose names we don't know. These ladies, I want y'all to understand something. Those women are not for the streets. They're for the zoo or they're for the jungle. At the very least, at the very best, they're for a wildlife park. Little drive-through safaris. But they are not in the least bit at all just for the streets, and that's the end of it. Now, remember, gentlemen, you can be for them streets. But there's a difference. Men are not hybirstophilic in our mating choices, unless, of course, you got a man that's trained and conditioned to look for violent women. We're not trained like that. And we don't have a natural reason to look for a woman to be violent. So I just thought I would point that out and remind you all of that because, yeah, gentlemen, there are these ladies walking around, and you all know about this. And they're hybirstophilic. They don't know the difference between a man with no criminal record and a wimp. Gentlemen, do me one favor. Stop saying they're for the streets and start saying they're for the zoo. And the criteria between them is that she wants you to have some history of violence. And that means right there that she can't tell the difference between normality and humanity in one man and a wimp in the other. That's what that means. They're all the same to her. So I would say to you gentlemen, do not at any point respect that. Do not respect such women like that. You can have a modicum of polite respect for a woman that's just loose. Maybe. I mean, at the very least, you bump into her in the store and maybe y'all knew each other from school. Oh, how's everything going? Hope y'all right. That type thing. She's for the zoo or the jungle. At best, a wildlife park with them drive-through safaris. No. That's the one that's at war. That's the one that wants you dead. She wants you either buried alive on a cell block or buried dead in the cemetery. Let's start disrespecting them openly. Because she doesn't understand that the protection provided by a safe environment that you may work hard to be able to afford for her is protection. She doesn't get that. She wants to judge you by how well you can defend her in the wilderness. Throw her to the wilderness. From the jungle she came, and to the jungle she must return. Thank you for listening, gentlemen. Black heart, black mind, black out. Assalamu alaikum. And as I've always said, black heterosexual non-select male power, just because she don't like it, especially if she can't tell the difference between a normal man and a wimp, and black patriarchy until extinction or judgment day.